For people who haven't seen it, it's quite interesting to try and explain, because a lot of your script, Penn, is Joe, your character's thoughts, isn't it? And that's what brings the humour in many ways as well. And there's quite an interesting way in which you film it, because you sort of record his thoughts first, don't you?
We do, yeah. Well, I do. I mean, it's amazing how much autonomy they've given me there. I mean, it's like I just kind of go. Yeah, so I just go into a box, a vocal booth, and I record, sometimes 2 or 3 episodes at a time. And I give them a bunch of different levels, so I'm never sure what they're going to use, although it tends to be pretty consistent. I always try to play with the humor as much as I can. I don't think about how I'm going to act in it, and then when I shoot the episode as an actor, I don't really concern myself with what I've done there, and it always just it always merges well.
Man, so this show You on Netflix is just ridiculous. It's a very interesting show, I've got to say. I am so shocked at how much of a following it has, given the premise of the show. And I mean, frankly, the show has lasted so long, I'm surprised it is still going on. It apparently was a Lifetime show, and then it got picked up by Netflix, so that really explains a lot. It's definitely a show for chicks of oh my God, I love this guy, but I hope he doesn't fucking kill me. Now, yeah, it was this interesting show about this guy that just is a obsessive serial killer. He just obsesses over women and then ends up murdering them if they don't end up loving him back. And it just seems like a very odd premise to have in the year 2023, or it started a couple years ago, but yeah, it is. I feel like apparently a lot of people are tired of it, but it is just kind of funny. But the show is written by Sarah Gamble, and Sarah Gamble is apparently one of my favorite people in the whole world, because she's one of the writers on Supernatural, which is my favorite show. So she, wrote the characters of Sam and Dean, and it's just the fact that she did that. It's you know what? I'll give you a pass, because I feel like if a male wrote you, it probably wouldn't go all along as well, because it'd be oh my God, this man is having this man kill people, kill women. It's so sexist or something. I don't know, but it's funny because a lot of people say it reminds them of Dexter, and I haven't really watched a lot of Dexter, but it's the same feeling, right? He's got his internal monologue where he talks to himself or to the audience most of the show, and then but Dexter kills people that are bad, right? Fucking Joe Goldberg of You, played by the great Penn Badgley, I will say. He kills women because they don't love him, or because he can't be having them know that he killed somebody else or did something else. It's he kills for passion, excitement, love, just to do it. He's not anything like Dexter. Dexter is way more morally sound than this fool. But again, I was saying, Penn Badgley, the guy that plays the character Joe Goldberg in You, man, bless his heart, he is just a really cool dude. He just seems like the nicest guy. Apparently he was in this band called Mother, but the E is an X, so Mother, but Mother. And yeah, now he's a full-fledged lead actor. And he in the show there's a lot of sex scenes, and he even put this article, he was even referenced in this article where he had said that he wasn't going to do any more intimate sex scenes because he just got married and he believes in fidelity. So it's it's just a pretty cool guy. I respect him all the way around. So, that's also another thing that kind of gives me lets the show off the hook a little bit. The fact that the writer wrote my favorite show, and the fact that Penn Badgley is just such a cool actor and it plays through the show so well. But so the show stars him as Joe Goldberg, and he's, like I said, he's just this obsessive dude who has a really shitty past. He's an orphan, and pretty much his mom abandoned him. So every woman now that he falls in love with, he just has this obsession over, and wants to love them, wants to be loved by them. And for whatever reason, shit just doesn't work out well. But mainly because he kills everybody around that person. He pretty much stalks the shit out of them. He kills the people that harm or are detrimental to their life, I guess, just shitty friends and horrible bosses and ex-husbands. He just fucking murders them because he's I'm in love with you and you're the one and I want to be with you. And it's just so crazy. And the fact that, he's a white man, it just, like I say, in this time and age, in this day and age, it's just the prettiest, it is the funniest thing. It's pretty fun. I mean, I can understand a lot of the feelings that he has throughout the show with these people, but at the same time, it's like, you can't just see someone and be like, I love this person. I'm gonna just fucking stalk the shit out of this person and like, it's like, what? Like, nah, bro, like, maybe you should go, like, talk to them and get to know them or something. Don't just start stalking them. But I mean, maybe, I guess, how else are you gonna meet bitches nowadays in 2023? But yeah, so it went on for 4 seasons. The 4th season just ended right now. And I gotta say, man, the seasons just go, just so much. First season, he's in New York. He meets this woman, and she's a writer and stuff. And he ends up, like, getting in cahoots with her, of course, and stalking her up. And all her friends are, like, toxic, pretty much. So he goes around and, like, kills all her friends. And then shit hits the fan, and then bam, she ends up getting killed. And season 2, you find he goes to LA because he's on the run now. He goes to LA and changes his name again, meets some chick, fucking meets all her friends. Her friends are all fucking weird. But the whole, like, plot twist is one of his ex shows up. One of his exes from, like, a couple girls before. They don't really talk about his, like, teen life, but a couple girls before, she fucking cheated on him. So he went to, like, kidnap her. And he, like, accidentally killed her, or at least he thought he did, so he buried her. And then she survived, so she dug herself out of the grave and was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go kill this dude. And the whole second season, the girl that he meets, his ex shows up and is trying to, like, meddle in between him and the new girl that he meets. And he's like, no, I love this chick, and, like, you're gonna ruin my life. And it's like, well, bitch, you almost killed her, and you killed somebody else, and now you're over here messing with this girl. Like, you need to, like, get your priorities straight. So shit hits the fan in that one, and you find out that the girl that he's seeing in the second season is kind of, like, cuckoo crazy. Her name is Love Quinn. Second season, I think, is one of my favorite seasons. Season 2 was the best. Season 1 was all right. Like I said, it was a Lifetime show originally, so it makes a lot of sense. It's totally a chick show, kind of, but it's a freaky chick show, I guess, of a girl just being like, I wish I was stalked. But anyway, like I said, her name was Love Quinn, and she ends up being fucking crazy and, like, kills his ex to, like, hide his secret, because she ends up finding out about him, and she's like, oh, even though you're, like, a murderer, I still love you. So in the 3rd season, they end up having a baby, and they live in the suburbs and shit, because now they're, like, trying to live a normal life. But then he realizes that he can't fucking be his old creeper self because he's married now and he has a child. So he goes back to, like, his old ways, but then he's, like, trying to hide it from his wife, and his wife is, like, crazy. She starts killing more people. It's just, season 3 was just fucking ridiculous. It was so much. I feel like season 3 was where it's obviously started going downhill. It was like, it was a lot. You'll have to watch it, I guess. And then season 4 dropped, all right? And season 4, he goes to fucking England, and I did not understand season 4 one bit. He ends up falling in love with this black chick. That's the subplot of season 3, like one of the other girls that he ends up falling in love with, because he's like, I'm married, but I still want that love, because now me and my wife aren't in love. We were in love, and now we're married, and that love is gone, so I want fresh love. So he's in season 4, he goes into Europe, but it's like, nigga, what? He changed his name again. Oh, well, so in season 2, he changed his name, and then Love Quinn ends up finding out that he's actually Joe. So in season 3, he goes back to being Joe. Season 4, after shit hits the fan in season 3, he jumps over and changes his name again when he's in England or Paris or wherever the fuck he's at. But it's so ridiculous because that fool becomes a professor. How the hell are you going to become a college professor with a changed name? Come on. There had to be a background check somewhere. Unless he, like, went under his normal name and then changed his name afterwards, but still didn't really make any sense. And then a lot of people were saying, which I thought was funny, that, man, there's that black girl. If they kill that black girl, this show's fucked, and, like, we don't need that shit. And I'm like, bro, he just killed, like, a fuckload of white people and, like, a Mexican chick, and, like, an Asian Mexicanish chick. Like, he's killed all these people, and now you're gonna freak out that he might kill a black chick. Like, you racist ass motherfuckers, man. Like, black people can be racist, and yeah, that's kind of racist. Hey, he killed all those white people. That's cool, but he better not kill that black chocolate skin girl. Like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, so he ends up in Europe, fucking wherever, I forgot, and he ends up again falling in love with this girl. All these like high class, like rich ass people, and the whole plot twist for the season 4 is you find out he's like got DIS, dissociative disorder. So he pretty much like knocked himself out and split and gave himself a split personality and kind of goes insane, thinking that he's talking to somebody else that's turns out to be a killer when it's actually just him. It's pretty ridiculous. Like it's pretty out there. And that's why I say season 3 started going downhill, and now they're gonna finally wrap it up with season 5. And it's like, I guess like a lot of people are already like season 4 is where it needs to end. Like you can't. There's one article is like, why it needs to end, because we don't need to see Joe Goldberg killing anybody. The show is about a dangerously obsessive young man who goes to extreme measures to insert himself in the lives of the women he is transfixed by. It sent the wrong message about love from the start, but viewers were more than glad to buckle in for the ride. Oh man, yeah, and it was canceled on Lifetime, which I didn't realize, but that could mean that it just was people really just didn't care for it, and then Netflix was like, nah, we can make something out of this. What can we make? Money. But yeah, so season 5 apparently is going to start. They're going to have it out by like next year or something, or it's going to start next year, start filming, whatever. But yeah, I guess I'll watch the final season. I mean, we caught up, and it, like I said, it definitely grips you, but it grips you in this weird way of like, I just don't like this guy, but you're made to like this guy. And then, like I said, when you learn more about Penn Badgley, you're like, the actor's so cool. All right, I'll give him a chance, but it's like, also fuck this guy. But it's, and then Sarah Gamble, I guess, is like stepping down as like showrunner, and the co-showrunners are going to be the showrunners, but she's still going to have like input. So, this could be a very not good season. I mean, the way season 4 ends, he gets away with everything. He always fucking gets away with everything. And the fact that, it's going to go on to the 5th and final season, it's like, all right, well, it could have ended with him just getting away with everything again. So if he gets away with everything, it's going to suck. Or he might die, but he already tried to die. Like he does try to commit suicide in the 4th season, and it doesn't work. So if he dies, it's like, all right, I mean, he could have just died in the last season. So I don't know. Hopefully he goes to prison or some shit where he ends up suffering for the rest of his life. I don't know. In the show, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But check it out. It's definitely an interesting show. It's on Netflix. It's called You. 4 seasons. Like I said, 2nd season was the best. There's this acid trip scene where he takes acid with Love Quinn's crazy brother that she has, and you find out all this shit about her brother, and that is like fucking the coolest episode, because they're just like, it's the way they have the acid trip of like they're filming it. It's pretty good, and since it's someone like Joe who's murdered people and has these obsessive tendencies that's tripping on acid, the shit that he feels and goes through when you're watching it, you're like, oh man, it's just so good. Like you could only imagine, yeah, that's of course what you would fucking think about. Like you're a crazy ass motherfucker. But yeah. But all right, this has been Ghost and Craig. Check it out. You guaranteed you might like it. Maybe you'll dig it. But like I said, it's definitely one hell of a show.